Hello Flosstube, my name is Natalia and this is my channel OfficialMermaidsCove, where I share my love of cross-stitching with you all. This video is going to be a Flosstube extra. I'm going to be sharing some of the people I've been watching on Flosstube again. I took some feedback from the last video that I had, and I mentioned I have some Christmas ornaments to stitch on, and so there's quite a few people who would like to see those. So I will not be crocheting today like I did in the last video, and also because I finished that blanket. So this was the body that I was crocheting in the video. I finished the body a while back and I've been working on the edging. This was the edging, and then when I ran, I was trying to use up all this yarn, and I did, which was fine because I had this backup gray yarn to use to line it, kind of like what I did with the other blanket, and it came out really nice. I like the color combination, and it's really soft compared to the base one. This base is like 100% cotton, and this is all acrylic, but it's really soft. But I thought it was a nice color combination. I like how it worked out. It turned out like really nice and nice size. So I'm happy with that. So today I will be showing you the beaded snowflakes that I do. So every year, I forgot, I don't think I did, I can't remember when I started doing this, but I do this every year for my coworkers, and then sometimes I also make some extras. We do like a Secret Santa exchange with my husband's family, and depending on who all I'm spending Christmas with, I might stitch additional ornaments. So these are the two that I typically do. So I found these as like thrifted kits, and I think both of these had enough to do it again. So I did do the materials. I used up the new materials initially, but these are both Mill Hill kits. They're snow crystal counted glass bead ornaments. There's no floss stitching in this. Like there's no full cross stitches in any of this. It's all just beads. This one is the crystal and copper, MHSN02. So I'm guessing that's like Mill Hill Snowflake 02. They're part of the Snow Crystal series. I'm pretty sure maybe you could find these on the second market. I don't know if on the secondhand market. I don't know if they sell them. I know they came out with a new, because I think I looked it up on 123Stitch, and they do have different, crystal snowflakes. So if you want to buy brand new kits, you can. These are the ones that I use, and then I just reuse the pattern in the kit. And I'll show you how I do that. But this is the second one. It's the crystalline teal, MHSN05. I guess I'll show both eventually. To be honest, I actually enjoy doing this one just because the finishing's a little cleaner as far as how you cut the edging on it. This, you can tell, I don't know, the diagonals that you have to cut here, like, it makes me really nervous about maybe cutting into a thread. I mean, you can do it, but I think because for the cleaner finishing, I tend to like to stitch these up. But I have stitched these too, and they're nice to stitch as well. Both of these are pretty straightforward. They use seed beads and bugle beads, and I think with each of these you pick 2 color seed beads and 2 color bugle beads, if I'm not mistaken. But what I'll do is I'll start stitching this one for this video, and I'll start on it, and then I'll go ahead and share who I've been watching this week. I've mentioned before, I use beading needles that I've gotten from Leslie Under the Sea Fabric. Oh, well, that is not what's in here. I wonder where I left my beading needle at. Did I put it? Oh, I know what happened. 1 second, I'm gonna pause you. Well, never mind. I guess I thought it was somewhere, but maybe not where I was looking for. But anyway, I still have other beading needles. But I grabbed this. I have been stashing stuff away to work on these ornaments. And I also have these in my stash. These would make good ornaments too. They're meant for jewelry, but I'm probably just going to stitch ornaments up. They have patterns with them. I'm probably going to use my own, design my own pattern. I'll probably look up some Christmas pixel art and maybe stitch a snowflake or a Christmas tree, something else Christmassy on these. Make them into mini ornaments. So So I have that in here as well. The ornaments, they're stitched on perforated paper. I have used the perforated paper in the kits, but you can still buy perforated paper. I get the 14 count one. It fits most of the seed beads. This is like, you know, you can buy it in sheets like this. And I have different kinds. I'm not really picky. I have that one that's like a brown. I have a bunch of this black perforated paper that I've thrifted. There's some of this stuff that is beige. Perforated paper, same 14 count. And then I have this stuff. I don't think I use this for my Christmas ornaments. I think I tend to leave this. It's a perforated plastic. I think it's also 14 count. It looks like it's 14 count. Yeah, it looks about the same. I think I use these for keychains. I used to make some keychains. So this is a little different. It's like bendable. If you're concerned about maybe like getting your paper wet or messing it up, then maybe this would be a good option for you. So use the perforated plastic instead. So something to keep in mind. It doesn't really matter what you choose. There are some people who prefer stitching on fabric. If you wanted to do these on fabric, you could as well. But then when you go to finish them, I would just keep in mind that you need to like fray check. Well, not even fray check. You kind of, there's another product that they sell called Flosstube, which will like glue the fabric ends and seal them basically. So you basically have to buy a Flosstube if you're going to cut it close to the ends to finish it off. Or if you can make them into little pillows, that's another option. I haven't done that. I just stick with the perforated paper, but that's something else you can think of. Whatever perforated paper I use, I like to bead with floss, regular cotton floss. So I'll try to pick something that matches the color. Like this is pretty close. I also have this, which is like a little lighter. Yeah, I think this will be a better color. There's other beading, like I bought this when it was at clearance at one of the craft stores, and they had it reduced. It's a bead string, it's non-stretch nylon. I also have some Nymo. I have some spools of Nymo thread. It's not too bad to stitch with. I think, yeah, like this is a spool of black. It's like a beading thread. Honestly, most of the time I just use, like what I said, just floss. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut a length like I typically would for cross stitch. Which is like, I just base it off the length of my arm. I don't necessarily have like a measurement that I use as far as like how many inches or whatever. So we have this. I'm gonna be using just one strand and I'm not gonna double it up. And we're gonna use, these are typically the beading needles that Mill Hill gives you. They're longer needles. I like using shorter needles. It's like a John James Petite. I forget which size. I've mentioned it in some of the other beading videos. But the ones that they include in the kits are fine. They're just a little longer, so you won't be able to like finish your thread as closely, which is, I guess, not a big deal in the long run. I know that I kind of already pre-cutted these pieces. I'm not too concerned that I'm going to be close to the edge. But I know Mill Hill, a lot of their kits, they recommend like marking an X to find the center on the back, and then starting at the center. I'm going to like guesstimate where the center is here. And for this snowflake, I'm not going to show you the pattern with you because that's not appropriate. But if you notice here, like you have to stitch a base across, and then like where you're basically stitching the spokes of the snowflake first, and then you move on and add the bugle beads, and there's some beads in the center here. So I'm going to pick, let's pick this line, and I'm going to bring my needle up here and go down, and I'm actually going to hold this thread here, and as I bead, it should stitch over that in the back. And I'm going to be a little conscious of the fact that this is a snowflake. It's not like a solid square, and I am going to be cutting the edges out around it. So when I go to stitch this, I have to be cognizant that whatever threads I have on the back, I'm stitching them and securing them to the back in a way to where when I go to cut to finish it, it's not going to cut those threads. I have had that a few times, just because I was in a hurry stitching them and I forgot to pay attention to that. It wasn't a big deal. I had to secure them in the back, and then I put some glue on it to make sure that the threads can come loose. But if you want to avoid that, just keep that in mind for wherever you're going to be cutting your finishing lines, which you can draw those maybe on the back if you wanted like a template, and then you can always turn it over and make sure. Just something to keep in mind for something like what I'm stitching right now. I have a bunch of different beads to choose from. I've been kind of collecting them a bit, and I know I have the beads together for some of their Christmas projects I've been stitching with. So general Christmas colors, you have your white, your greens, reds. For this snowflake, like I said, you just pick 2 different color seed beads and 2 different color bugle beads. So I have some more seed beads here. This is by no means the only seed beads I have. I have blue and a lot of different other options too, but these are just some that I pulled out for today. And then I have all these bugle beads. Again, these are not all the bugle beads that I have, and I'm probably gonna end up organizing this a little differently. This box is not necessarily proof as far as like the mixing, but I have green, I know I have silver somewhere. I guess it's not in this box, but I have like basic silver. I have a different gold somewhere else. I have a dark blue, a light blue, a pink. This is the pink, this is the purple. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between the two. Black, red, a bright gold. And I think that's everything that's in this case. So I'll just go based off of that. I don't know why, but I'm feeling gothy colors. I have no idea why that is. So we have red bugle beads, black bugle beads, and then I can do the red and the silver. Okay. For this one, whichever ones you choose, you'll have to notice. So the main spokes are in one color, and then you have like bits at the end here that are going to be your highlight. So I think I'm going to do there's already going to be red in the bugle beads, so maybe I'll do the highlight in red, and I'll do the main color as silver. Okay, but now what I'm thinking of is, would this be, do I want to do it in a different perforated paper? I think it'll be okay. Okay. So just putting some beads off to the side here. Pattern real quick. I feel like once you do these so many different times, you kind of memorize it, but just make sure I'm counting this correctly. Okay, so we decided on the red beads. This stuff out of here. this cloth in here is just like an islands cloth. I have it from like my readers. I had to do close-up work. Because my optometrist, I'm already nearsighted, but I wear contacts to see farther away, and then my optometrist reminded me that means my eyes are doing a lot of work when I try to do close-up work with contacts that are meant to help me see far away. So I should wear readers when I'm doing my embroidery. Okay. So if you can see that, it's kind of making a diagonal across the back there. So hopefully we will stitch over that as we go. Okay. So and I'm just securing these with a half cross. And that's not where that's supposed to go. If you notice that the beads are a little wobbly at first, let me actually try to keep this in frame for you guys. They'll straighten out the more you go. Just try to pull tight on the thread as you go, and that'll help. For a second I thought I put that in the wrong spot too. Going good. Okay. So I'm doing a half cross, just one leg, and you see here the next one that I'm going to stitch is right up here, following this line going up and down, but I just went up in the bottom left and went down in the top right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back down here and just do like a base stitch to secure that bead so that I can tighten that down. What did I just do? If that went in the right spot, it should be okay, but I don't think it did. Okay. There it goes. So I'm just pulling on that and tightening that down so that it can come back in the right spot and keep going. How have you all been doing? It's been getting colder. I'm not happy about it. I very much enjoy warmer weather. That is one of the things that because I like all the holidays of fall and winter, you know? Love all the good food. I love spending time with my friends and my family. But I do not like the drop in temperature. I could do without that part. We're not due to get snow here in Tennessee, or at least where I live, If we do get snow, it usually doesn't stick for long, so we just have really cold, wet winters, and it's a little miserable, to be honest. See, I somehow need to, like, let me see if I can adjust you. Okay. Yeah, so I actually don't come out of frame. You can see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Okay. So, I guess I can start going through while I've been watching, while you're watching me do this. I actually wanted to start this video, shout out some people I follow on Instagram, because they've had some announcements that I've seen, and I don't think they're maybe as active on YouTube. Susan at SweetWingStudios has mentioned that she is starting a Patreon. She also has made some recent pattern releases for like the upcoming holidays. I think she released a pattern called Comfort and Joy, and she actually has some Christmas freebie designs on her website as well. I've been thinking about maybe stitching some of those. They're not, she has a different variety of freebies. They're not all Christmas related. If you're not familiar with SweetWingStudios, she does a lot of, I guess you would call it Christian cross-stitch patterns, with references to scripture and other, just wholesome stitches. She does Easter patterns. She does a variety of different things, but I really like them. They're really cute. I showed some of them that I was stitching on in September, and I still have plenty that I haven't finished on, so you'll be seeing more of those in the future. So it's really exciting that she's starting a Patreon. I am a little hesitant to do subscription-based stuff in general, like where you pay every month, just because I feel like I would lose track of it. So I've never signed up for like a Fabric of the Month club or a Floss of the Month club. I like the freedom to just choose what I want to buy, but then I also like the idea of maybe building a stash, but then the other part of me is like, I have a lot of her patterns that I haven't started yet. If I follow her Patreon, she's going to be putting patterns on there, and I'm just going to get more enabled to start things, right? I don't know. I really do like her patterns though, so I'm debating. Snowcone Stitchery, Snowcone underscore Stitchery. I'll try to, these people, I guess, are not going to be tagging them on Flosstube, so I guess I'll have to be careful how I spell out the names. But I'm pretty sure the way that I spell them, like, you'd be able to find their Instagrams. I'll let you know when we switch over from Instagram people to Flosstube people. But Snowcone underscore Stitchery, they are also stitching the Cauldron of Myrrh. I'm not sure. I think they also started it to support Unconventional X-Stitch. And they are gung-ho. I think they've already gotten like 16,000 stitches in, and she looks beautiful. They start on this face first, and it looks amazing. I'm looking very forward to stitching mine. I'm not planning on picking it up anytime soon because there's other things I'm trying to prioritize at the moment, but I'm loving seeing their progress on it. So if you're not following them on Instagram, I would check them out. NeedlelotDesigns. I don't understand, like, I walk by their page all the time. They had this beautiful Swan Lake pattern, and they're doing like a Secret Grove sal right now. They have so many beautiful, colorful, fun patterns. They have an octopus pattern I really want to stitch because it's very Under the Sea themed, and I'm just trying to keep myself from starting anything, but I might have to. No, next year I'll have to buy some things. I'm saying this, but like, I don't know if your family does this where they do like a Three Kings gift on January 6th, maybe I'll get something for that. I'm still debating. But they have a lot of cute patterns, and I'm afraid that I won't be able to just pull the trigger on one, that I'll have to get a bunch. But definitely go check out their Instagram page, and you will definitely be enabled. KayliTentStitch recently showed, oh my gosh, she had the cutest thing that she shared. She sells things on, I think her website's called the Sewing Shop, and she showed this stocking project bag. A stocking project bag. It looks so cute. I don't know. I just hadn't seen something like that. I feel like, I don't know if someone's done something like that before, but that was like a genius idea to me. And the way that she implemented it looked so good too. So I don't know if she still has some up in her shop, but I thought that was really cool that she was doing it for, like, I guess the holiday stitching and stuff. And I thought it would be a really good idea for somebody's project bag if they're looking for like a Christmas bag. So go check out her Instagram post on that, or I guess you can go just check out the shop and see if she has any more listed. Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching. Okay, so now we're transitioning to YouTube. The first 4 were Instagram accounts that I recommend watching or going to check out. So Pam and Steph at Just Keep Stitching, they had taken a break from making floss tubes, and I guess, yeah, I think they had been going to like quite a few retreats, and we're kind of taking like a vacation in general. I guess they organized StitchCon, and that was like a big endeavor, and they were taking a break after all that. So they were back. I watched their video. Always very entertaining. And I love all the stuff they have to show. I'm trying to think of. So if you haven't watched them before, they're a mother and daughter duo. They help host StitchCon, and I believe Steph works at is this the shop called Twin Peak Primitive? And they share some specials that the shop's doing on their channel on a regular basis. So I think what they showed this video was really cute. And I think it was Christmas related. I just can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a minute. Like I said, I watched too many channels. There will be some people that are repeated in this list, because between the last video and this video, people have just been putting out videos left and right. And if I watched them, I tried to jot down some notes. Lydia's Leisurely Stitching. Somebody new that I've started watching. They had a awesome full coverage finish that they've been working on for 10 years. I think it was a Haid. It was called A Place of Her Own, and it looks amazing. Like, when people, I don't, here's some inspiration to me to start on, and maybe potentially, hopefully one day finishing my Haid, because hers turned out fantastic. I don't know if it was full coverage or max color. Is that what it is? No, it was a full coverage chart. What I wasn't sure on if it was max color. Oh, I just snipped that thread real quick, and you see like it got secured on the back here from me just stitching that half cross. So I snipped off the excess already. Okay, so we're at, see, yeah, I knew this was plenty big for this. This is like the center of the snowflake right here. So we got plenty on the sides. This is like, you know, a cube. So plenty of space. Anyway, sidetrack. But yes, go check out Lydia's Leisurely Stitching. If you're interested in full cross and you want to see a finish, I think, pretty sure it was Haid. Run to her channel and check that out. That looks stunning. Danielle Stitcherista, I watched her video. She was giving us updates on her library, and she got a awesome gift from one of her stitchy friends, and it was like a Lego library set. I think they were doing it as like a special release, and they sent her one, and it looks so cute. She said she's gonna try to put it all together and then have it up on her bookshelf. So it'll be cute to see whenever she gets around to doing that. Crafty Gamey Jamie, she recently shared, I guess, a product review. She bought a new tablet for her stitching, and it looks really interesting. I have a tablet that I bought for cross stitching, and honestly, I just didn't use it enough, and I think my husband basically has taken it over. um, it's still, I guess, technically my tablet, but I don't use it. Like, you might as well just call it his tablet. I've been debating whether to like revisit that, because I do have like a holder, and maybe you would, because I record videos on my phone, so maybe it would be easier if I ever want to do a stitch with me. Like, I have Pattern Keeper on my phone. If I ever wanted to do stitch with me on one of my projects, I basically put everything into Pattern Keeper. So I'm wondering if I might have to, I mean, the tablet we have now still works just fine. But the one she showed was pretty interesting, so if I ever felt like upgrading, she showed like the case that she got, the pencil, different nibs that she got for it, that like will last longer. She did a lot of research into it, so I would trust her recommendation, personally. But you can go check out the video and see what you think about it. Cats and Cross Stitch, they had some beautiful Carolyn Manning designs, and they had some beautiful Bellas and mirrors that they showed. I love fancy lady stitching, so if that's something that interests you too, I would check them out. Fiber Arts Amy, she has a company that she recently started for fabric dyeing, and I believe she also does like quilted cottons. She put out a few videos, and she was going through, I guess they're going to do a winter garden sale for the winter garden chatelaine. And she also did a video where she showed off her Teresa Winsler projects, and she tried to like figure out which ones she wanted to make a focus and get more progress on. So that was cute, interesting. I don't really stitch a lot of Teresa Winsler. Honestly, at this point in my cross-stitch career, I try to stay away from anything that has too much backstitch. I don't know if that's... I say that, but a lot of the kits that I have currently in my possession do have quite a bit of backstitching, and I have done quite a bit of backstitching on products in the past. I don't know, I just don't enjoy it. So if I see it, and maybe the truth is that the designs with the variety of things that I have at my disposal now are no longer interesting, or they don't capture me enough to want to stitch them, regardless of whether they have a lot of backstitching or not. Now, I haven't seen a lot of Teresa Winsler projects finished in person, and I know a lot of people say that makes a difference, so maybe that's what it is, but I just haven't really had... And I know she has like a mermaid pattern. I don't know, I just haven't had any kind of urge to go out and get one of those. I have had inklings, like I've seen the new Joan Elliott mermaid pattern. But that's the other thing too, like there was quite a few, you know, Joan Elliott does fancy ladies too, and she has quite a lot of beautiful ladies, and I had quite a few on my wish list at one point, but then, I don't know, I just feel like, I don't know if it's the back stitching, because she has quite a bit of back stitching in those too. Like if you look at Mirabilia's, they do have back stitching, but like, I don't know, it's minimal to me in comparison, which doesn't, I mean, that's not to say that Mirabilia's are better than Joan Elliott's, because obviously they both have beautiful, beautiful ladies. I don't know what it is about it, but the ones that she shows are really pretty. She shows some dragons, she showed some, I think there was like a Camelot sampler. So if you're a Teresa Winsler fan, I would definitely go check out her video on that. Her puppy makes an appearance. I always love seeing people's fur babies on the channel, so go check her out. Whimsical Stitcher, they showed a beautiful finish. I did not write down the name of the chart, but it was like a red bird, a red cardinal, a red cardinal finish. It's one of those like winter finishes. I have like a specific image in my head, but obviously that encompasses so many different patterns. They also show that they're working on Lady of Mystery, which is a Mirabilia. It looks really, really pretty, and they've got a good bit of progress started on her. They also had some Owl Forest charts. They have the Swan Lake one. I love, like, I would watch the Swan Princess movies with my grandmother all the time, and my grandmother's name's actually Odette. So there is a pattern that I bought. It's a lavender lace pattern that I made to stitch that has like, I think it's called Lady Claire, but every time I see that pattern I think of Swan Princess. And I'm thinking of stitching that eventually. That'll probably be my next lavender and lace start, if my younger sister doesn't convince me to start another one of the angels for her. But yeah, she had the Swan Lake Owl Forest pattern that she was working on, and it looks beautiful. Next is Enchanting Stitching. I watched their video. They had a book haul to show. I guess they're doing a full coverage challenge in Stitch So Beautiful's Facebook group. This is the year of Facebook groups for me. I've heard people say that they're involved in a lot of Facebook groups, and I think I was added on to like the Caraco Rouge stitching group, for example, and I definitely was following Autumn Lane, but I wasn't really following anybody else on Facebook, and I wasn't really involved in a lot of the groups. And the number of groups I've joined, like in the past 2 months, or even the past month, has been a lot. So I think I went ahead and asked to request that one too. I'm interested. I don't have a, like, as how badly I've been enabled this year with full coverage projects, I'm just like, fine, add me to the group, I'll find something to stitch on, and we'll see if it gets started next year or not. Okay, so I'm starting back, so I'm gonna start doing the diagonals. So my plan is I'm gonna like stitch the diagonals down, stitch the spoke off to the side here, and then stitch the diagonal back down, stitch the next diagonal over here, stitch the spoke down, and then stitch it up. This might help me cut down on potentially stitching something where I'll cut the threads. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So I'm actually going back and stitching. I think it lines up with like this bobble up here. So I just want to get down to there then. And then when I go back down here, oh, I have to count. 1 second. Okay, this is another choice for you too. I usually just have all my beads facing the same way. Some people change the orientation of the beads to like line up so that they're all symmetrical. I'm not going to do that, but something else you can keep in mind when you're stitching this. I'm just going to do them all the same direction. Okay, the next person, and I don't know if you can see that, but like the thread is diagonally on one of these rows, so it's hidden on the back. And when I go to cut, I think it's like let me get the picture again. If I have any idea where I put the actual, I have like beads and everything sitting out here, right here. So if you see the picture, they cut it straight. So since I hit it on the back and it's going straight across, like I won't be cutting any threads when I go to cut it like this to make the ornament. Okay, hope any of that makes sense. What was the last person I mentioned? Okay, so I said Enchanting Stitching has a book haul, and they're doing a full cover challenge with Stitch So Beautiful. So if I get added to the group, I'll figure out what that's about. Cross Stitch the Globe, they've been doing a lot of different, they're gonna get mentioned again, I just know it, they do so many regular videos. They did a fabric organization video. I was very intrigued. I've heard people talk about that system before, but I haven't actually seen it done so comprehensively as she showed. And I also like the storage containers that she had. I might have to think about that. I am amassing a bit of a fabric stash, and to be honest, some of the fabric that I have, a lot of it's not dyed. Like I hand dye a lot of pieces of fabric, but then a lot of it's just like stuff I've thrifted. And I always have to check, like anytime I go to do a new start, I'm always double checking the sizes, because, you know, it might say on the packaging, oh, it's this size fabric, but it's thrifted, so somebody could have cut into it. You know, and you always have to double check that. So I'm always taking stuff like in and out of packaging, and it might be helpful to just have everything organized. So I'm debating if I'm gonna put something together like that, or if I'm just gonna stick to doing what I'm doing now. I don't know if I want to. I have a lot of fabric. I have a lot of fabric. I don't know if I want to endeavor doing all of that at once. And I feel like in my mind I can't do anything half-hearted. So if I do decide to do something like that, it's probably not going to be anytime soon. But I was really intrigued, and I would definitely recommend checking out that video. Kelly, she was showing, oh my gosh, Kelly, oh, the envy. So she got to go to the Queen City retreat this year, and Autumn Lane Stitchery was the guest designer. I love them so much. I was so bummed. So, I mean, I'm very happy that I went to Stitch Florida. I'm very happy with my first retreat. I'm very happy with all the people that I met and all the friends that I made there. But if I had had the knowledge that Autumn Lane Stitchery was going to be the featured designer at a retreat, I would have doubled down on that being the retreat that I went to, because I had planned on only going on one stitching retreat this year. And I was just like kicking myself. But she mentioned, because she videotaped like their, I guess, discussion with the designer, and in that, Erin alluded to the fact that they might be doing a Patreon. And look, if starting a Patreon is what they need to like dedicate more time, I'm telling you right now, I messed this up. I said that and I messed this up. And super easy. You just stick your needle through the bead and take it out. And we'll try this again. But anyway, if that's what they need to like finish the patterns and like dish out some stuff, by all means, I'm here for it. I know I just said I was like second guessing about the SweetWingStudios. Look, I'm running out of mermaids to stitch for Autumn Lane. Okay, I need some more stuff. And if they need a bunch of people to jump onto a Patreon, and I say that I haven't got the mermaid box yet. I'm sure that'll keep me busy for a while. But it's still, it stands. It stands. I will fully support whatever it takes to get more of Erin's amazing designs. So depending on the price point, that might be something that I'll have to jump on if they do end up pulling the trigger on that anytime next year. I already know I'm going to be doing the Dark Queen of the Sea Dark Queen of the Sea. It's going to be next in the Dark Queen series for Autumn Lane is going to be Dark Queen of the Air, I believe is what they said. So, and they're definitely doing that next year. So I will be participating no matter what. But I would not say no to also being a part of the Patreon. So if they do end up doing that, if any of you are watching this video or any of you want to, feel free to go over to the Facebook group and like advocate for them doing that. I would totally be on board, 100%. And now I have to count again. Okay, 1 second, guys. Second try. And I'm actually I have my bugle bead box still open while I'm talking to you, and I'm not going to use those for a minute, so let me not. Let's reduce the risk of me just flinging beads everywhere. Okay. Okay. Yes, so very envious that I did not get to go. Very happy that she shared all that with us, because I got to hear about them possibly starting a Patreon. So now I'm going to be stalking the page for if they make an announcement about that or not, while I try to patiently wait for my mermaid box. For anybody else who's waiting, I think they did say they got the last thing they were waiting on from one of their vendors, and they'll be shipping it out less than a week from now. Hopefully, potentially. Fingers crossed. Definitely before Christmas, so you'll have pre-Christmas to celebrate. Okay. Fun with Cross Stitch. They have a new game that they gave some details about. I guess they have a Facebook group that they do a game in, and they're releasing a new one this year. It seems very interesting. If there's any of you who like doing such games, I would definitely go check out their channel. Janet Jabber, she had some stitchy goodies from whatever videos that you could enter for. What? You know, one of those things where you can't read your own. She showed something on her channel, and I cannot read my note, but it had something to do with mermaids. So I really wish I could read this. I guess I just was in a hurry. Oh, a pearl collector? Is that a Bella? Maybe that's a Bella. That might have been something she showed. I keep seeing Bellas, and I keep debating on whether, because I do have Bella charts that I got for Christmas from one of my sisters, the full-size ones, and I have not started them as of yet. Okay, I have verified this is in the right place now. Yay. Once you start getting the diagonals in place, like, it'll kind of makes it easier to do the rest of the pattern. So, there's that. Okay, let's go down here. I'm kind of hopping all over the place just because I'm trying to like diagonally hide my threads on the back of this because it is perforated paper, so you do kind of see them poking out. Okay, next. In Stitches with Ebony, they were sharing their 2025 plans and their WhipGo 2025 plans. I don't do WhipGo. Again, I just like having the freedom to like focus on the things that I want to focus on at a time. But I don't know. I'm still debating. Siska Stitches has a bunch of games, and she's kind of talked about how you can play them if you're trying to be monogamous or get work on one particular whip. So I'm debating on if I want to maybe try that out and commit to doing something like that. But we will see. My plans for next year are kind of like all over the place right now. And they keep getting like expanded. And I already know like half the stuff isn't very realistic, so I kind of have to do some math and make it all make sense in my head. The Monogamous Cross Stitcher, they have some beautiful projects. They had a lot of haul to show from retreats, and they talked about the retreats that they went to here lately. So if you'd like to hear about retreats, I would definitely go check them out. Helen D had a beautiful finish tutorial. She was finishing a tiered tray that she cross-stitched into like a cute Christmas tree stand-up, and she had some really good tips on things that you can use to finish that and have it stand up. Ashley, the Distracted Stitcher, congrats on your engagement! She also had she got recently engaged, so feel free to run over to her channel and congratulate on her on that. And she showed some new charts on there, and she has Fancy Ladies, so I love following all the Fancy Lady stitchers. Megan the Wild. I wrote down Megan the Wild-Eyed Stitcher. I think it's Megan the Wide-Eyed Stitcher. I don't know why. I'm not sure why that's what I chose to write down. I'll tag them. I found out I can't do a ton of tags on my description, so I'll be tagging all these people in the description. So feel free to go based off that. She, I guess, recently opened an Etsy store, and right now she only has one pattern in there, but people have been going and they've been buying. So if you're interested, go check her out and support her. She's trying to start a new thing, and I wish her all the success with that. You can never have enough cross stitch patterns out there. Jen the Caffeinated Crafter. She's been doing several Stitch With Me videos. One of them she shares like different meals that she makes for her family, and they sound delicious. I am all for all of the food tips I send those all to my husband. He does most of the cooking at our house. He loves cooking, and I love to support his love of cooking. And I help ensure that it all tastes good, because I taste everything. Me and our puppy dog, she's always asking him for bits of what he's cooking all the time when he's in the kitchen. Stitching Moon, they have an Etsy store. They have patterns for full coverage patterns that they sell in there, so if you're interested, I would check that out. They showed that they finished a burr sampler for their baby. It looks so cute. So you can go check them out, and they also showed the progress that they had on their whips. A random stitcher, they're participating in the 2024 Haid, so they're stitching on Merry Mushroom Village, I guess is what it's called. And they have some good progress on that, as well as some other whips. Gemma Stitcher, I love watching her videos. She is fairly monogamous. She's stitching this wonderful Haid design on 14 count Aida. It looks amazing. It has over 307,000 stitches, and she is making very nice progress. I think she said she's shooting for 55% by the end of the month. I would not be surprised if she hits it. She's staying focused, and she's making very good progress. The Giddy Stitcher, they were participating in a Finish and Frog. It's something that lasts. That's the first time I've heard of something like that. It seems like she was doing it for her crochet or knitting projects. We're getting close to the end of this yarn, or this thread. Let's just talk about yarn. I might just go ahead and finish it off back here. But it was interesting. She kind of showed how, so there were projects that she had half done that she had lost the will to stitch it. Wasn't interested in stitching it anymore, so she just frogged it all out. And, you know, I think I would be open to doing that depending on the coverage. Like, I know 1/1 is, like, insane to try to frog. But if I really want the fabric, right, if I decided to give up on something, or I wasn't interested in stitching on something, then, yeah, it seems like it would make sense for me to go ahead and just frog all the stitching out and use it for something else. And she found that was really helpful with her knitting. I'm wondering, I don't think, well, off the top of my head, I can think of maybe one. I think I have two. I have two started crochet projects that I have not finished. They're in progress. And one of them I'm still maybe interested in finishing. And then the other one is really, really old. I had started it for my sister, and I don't think it's gonna get done. It's just something I'm not interested in stitching on anymore. I don't know if I would be open to maybe stitching something different for her. Maybe that's what I need to do. I just need to pick something else and just go little by little and not try to have everything all at once. I don't know. I'll think about it. But maybe what that needs is a completely frog it out and just either donate the yarn, or if I'm not going to use it, or do something else with it. Something to keep in mind. Busy Mom Stitcher showed lots of haul, lots of new starts. Has really beautiful whips too, so I'd recommend their channel. Lady Marmalade and Stitches had a whip parade video. Who doesn't love a whip parade? So if you're interested in watching a whip parade, go check out their channel. Mega Stitches, I think the deadline to participate in the ornament exchange, or in the smalls exchange, I guess it's a small exchange, passed. But I would check out her channel anyway, because I'm sure she'll be sharing what she gets, and maybe she'll open up the sign up for next year. And she has her projects that she shares on there too. She always working on interesting things, so I'd recommend her channel. Stay Stitches has a beautiful full coverage projects that she was sharing on her Flosstube, so I recommend her. I love following full coverage stitchers as well. Stitching Jewels. She has a store where she sells, I think she has a Etsy, but she also has her own dedicated website where she sells these really interesting cross stitch pieces. A lot of them are monochrome, or they have like minimal, you know, number of different colored floss. I've always been interested in maybe picking one and doing like a variegated floss on it. I just can't seem to commit. But I would check her out, and I guess recently she's been designing some patterns based off each of the states. So if you're interested in that, I go check out her. Well, you can check out the store, and you can also check out her. I think she has her store link in the Flosstube too, so you can check that out. She does pretty regularly updates Flosstube videos and kind of shares what's new in the shop. So I definitely go follow her if that interests you. Catkin and Lily, they're stitching on Joan Elliott's The Winter's Gift. Beautiful Fancy Lady. Go check them out. I Stitch Birds. I love their videos. If you really like long, cheerful videos with different cross stitch whips and like vlog style, I would definitely recommend I Stitch Birds. She's really positive. She's really fun to watch. It's just a feel-good time. And she always shows like these great patterns, so if you don't mind being enabled, she does a little bit of that too. The Camping Stitcher, I think she's recently started designing patterns. Well, recently, like this year. But I like their Flosstube videos too. They also share like fun camping stories every now and then at the end of the videos. Which are pretty entertaining. Ooh. See, you always have to spend a heck of a time trying to secure these. Threads. Let's try this again. Arlene Cohen, that's what the Flosstube channel is called, but she's also the person behind Works by ABC. She recently shared some new releases for patterns that she has coming out, so check her out. Mrs. Stitches, they're always a good watch. They have very interesting whips and things to share on their videos, so check them out. I enjoy watching their videos. VX Crafts, they've been doing some stitch with me's. She did one where she was stitching Lady Alexandra, which is a mirror. Really, really beautiful lady. So I enjoyed watching that. And if you're interested in the, what it looks like to stitch a mirror, or what it looks like as far as like how much confetti it is, or sometimes it's good to watch those videos just to get an idea. If you're thinking about stitching and you haven't done one of those projects from a designer before, it kind of gives you an idea of how the pattern stitches up. So I'd recommend that. History Lover Stitcher, she had a video that she did in Spanish about a trip to Madrid and some haul that she got there. I enjoyed watching it. If you don't speak Spanish, you might enjoy watching it too, just looking at what she has to share. And I'm pretty sure they do videos in English too. I think the latest one that I just watched was in Spanish. I think she also did a little blurb about like watching, I forgot who she said she watched, but basically about the concept of like, if you see something that you like, go ahead and buy it, even if it takes you 10 years to stitch it, because sometimes things go out of print, things are no longer available after a while. And now, for example, that a lot of the Mirabilia patterns, Mill Hill, as a supplier, they kind of are having issues with the Magnificas that they called for in the patterns here lately. So they're no longer, I think a lot of those are like out of stock now. Which some of those were not necessarily used like on older patterns, like it was newer patterns that were calling for those. So if you're having issues finding it, which I don't know, I've never had an issue substituting the beads, but it's just something to keep in mind. Or like even Krennic recently had a switch over to where Rainbow Calorie Threads bought them, and now some people are having trouble sourcing some of the colors that are called for in some cross-stitch patterns now. So if you see something that you really, really like and you really want it, but you're just not sure because you might not start stitching on it right away, don't feel guilty about adding it to your stash until you can stitch it, because you'll never know if it's going to be available. That's not to say, I mean, it's just not feasible to buy every single thing that we want and we see. But if you feeling guilty about buying things and, oh, I haven't touched this and I bought this ages ago, just, keep that in mind, that it might have not been available later, or, at least you have all the materials for it and you don't have to worry about the stuff not being available later on. So there are pros and cons to doing that. So something to keep in mind. Or if you do buy a pattern, maybe going and buying like the things that might be harder to source later on, like some of the specialty stuff. Like even if you don't kit up like the full project with DMCs, if you wanted to get the beads or something, it's just something to think about. The running stitcher, no, the rocking stitcher. The rocking stitcher was sharing some full coverage pieces. Very interesting, very beautiful. Recommend watching them if you like watching people who stitch full coverage. Yanni Stitcher, I love Yanni Stitcher. She had several stitch with me's and other videos that she was showing. She's stitching one of the memorabilia that I really like that came out this year called Pretty in Pink. I saw that one, and I had like recently been watching the Bridgerton series, the new season that came out this year, and I like the first thing that I thought of when I saw it was, oh, she's opening up her whistle down. I don't know why it was the first thing I thought of, but it looks really pretty, and I don't know what it is. Like, sometimes I really like pink, like the ladies in pink dresses. I don't know what it is about the color pink. Same with like purples. Something about those colors like attracts me. Like, I really like the Eva Witch that I got in the giveaway because of the color of the gown, but also, I mean, there's a lot of contributing factors. But yeah, I don't know. That's one of the patterns that came out, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, that is so pretty. I'm probably gonna end up wanting to buy that later on. I'm trying to give myself like a little time, because I do have so many memorabilia patterns, to see if immediately after its release, like if I wait 6 months or something, do I still feel the urge or the itch to like get that pattern, and then I'll pull the trigger. I'm trying to like not be as impulsive with my mirrors just because I have so many. Now, full coverage, it seems like that's just gone out the window, but we'll see if I can hem that in next year. James the PH Stitcher, I love James the PH Stitcher. He stitches these gorgeous fancy ladies, and he's doing a lot of Bella Filipinas. He's from the Philippines, and he works on so many beautiful ladies. And he had, I think in one of his latest videos, he showed a finish. He finished the Bella Filipina Aphrodite. She looks amazing, and I'm gonna pause you one sec. Okay, sorry about that. I heard my husband coming in. I just didn't want too much noise in the background. Yes, so if you're not watching James the PH Stitcher and you love fancy ladies, go check out some of his latest videos, and definitely look for the video where he shows his Bella Filipina Aphrodite finish. It looks stunning. I love the swan. It looks so pretty. So go check them out. Tinny, stitching Baps, and more Baps. I mean, it's just, I am so astonished at the people who just commit whole hog to stitching these huge pieces, and she has some really beautiful ones. I'm trying to limit myself from doing that just because I want to see progress, and I am cutting back on my stitching now, it seems, lately. And there are plenty of full coverage projects that I want to stitch on, so I don't know how far that plan's gonna go, but it's amazing to see. So if you're interested in watching people working on these like enormous full coverage designs, go check her out. Nisi Lynn, I don't know what to say about Nisi Lynn. She's just a good watch. It's wholesome. It's always like nice to listen to her. It doesn't matter what she's talking about. She's just one of my comfort watches. So if you're not watching her, I would definitely recommend her. She's very positive. She has always shares, you know, stuff going on in her life, and she has kiddos that she works with, and it's always fun to hear about those and her grandkids and how her family's doing. So I would recommend going to check her out. Stitching Big Things with Hallie. She was showing some beautiful full coverage pieces. She has so much progress on this Hade. It's called Red Maple Fairy. It looks beautiful. So I definitely recommend going to her channel and checking that out. I think she might have had some finishes too. Or no, some new starts. And she's trying to get progress on the ones that she has going on now, so to make more, kind of like what I'm trying to do, make more space to start more things. So definitely go check her out. I'm getting close to my end of my list and running out of beads, so hopefully we'll wrap this up here in a little bit. I'm already past an hour. Yeah, okay, we'll see how we go. Okay, this is one of those things where I'm not sure if I just jotted this down real quick. Oh no, I lost my place in the list. That's what it was. Maria the Green Stitcher. She's another fancy lady stitcher. She had a Mirabilia fully finished object where she framed one of her Mirabilias. It's the Mirabilia Blossom. She's this really beautiful one with like a multicolored dress. Looks so pretty. So definitely go check her out. Teresa Little Stitcher, she was doing a live stream where she was showing her progress on stitching on her Evening in the Park chatelaine. It looks so beautiful. It has some beautiful swans on there as well. But she's making really good progress and she's so close to a finish. So feel free to go over there and root her on and encourage her to get that finish on her project. Crow Stitcher, they had a stitch with me, full coverage stitch with me. Those are always nice because you kind of get to see how people stitch up their whips and work on them. The Cross Stitch the Globe, again, they had a different video where they showed chart organization. That's probably something else I need to do. That's like, organization is just something that I need to do in my craft space in general. And I definitely need to dedicate some time to that when I'm off work coming up. We'll see. Wish me luck on that. I don't know if I'm just going to stick to just stitching a bunch or if I'll actually carve out some time and try to do some desperately needed organization. Tiger Lily Designs, they had a wonderful foundation paper piecing tutorial, and I guess they also have a kit that they're selling. She sells really nice patterns and kits on her site, and she also does really nice tutorials. You can tell she has a lot of years of experience, and she does it in a way that makes it really easy to follow along, and for people who don't have a lot of experience, I find them very user-friendly. So check that out. Stitcherista, she had another video where she was talking about wanting to do more pillow finishes, that she, her mom had gotten her a sewing machine, I think, last Christmas, and she did some pillow finishes with it, but then hasn't been doing a lot, and she feels like she should be trying to get some more for maybe her smallest in that way and actually make use of the sewing machine so she's not losing out on her skills. And same girl, same. I feel like I need to be doing more finishes with my sewing machine too. I think I've been trying to do a little bit more of that, but I definitely have quite a few projects that still, I finished and they're just waiting to be fully finished, and I definitely need to think of ways that I can do that. I think I've framed enough things. I think it wouldn't hurt to try more sewing finishes. The Keystone Stitcher, they have so many amazing full coverage projects, and they're also like, I don't know, it just seems like the projects that they work on, I just don't see on other people's channels. Like, they seem like very unique. She has a very unique style to things that she works on, and they're so very interesting. So I would recommend checking them out. Teresa Kogut's Creative Whims. She is the creator and designer for Teresa Kogut Designs. She was showing some of her new Christmas releases, so if you're interested in that, and if you're interested in her designs, I would definitely recommend following her Flosstube channel. She does pretty regular videos, and she also does like paint with me's and stuff for the designs that she does. She knows she'll do work on her artwork, and then later on you might see it released as a cross stitch pattern. And that is not the right color bead, Natalia. Crafting Gamey Jamie, she did an update video, kind of vlog style, showing what she's been working on. I know she recently finished her Kita. I think I saw it posted on her. That's like a reel, and I might have seen the Flosstube video too. So congrats on that again. It looks stunning. It's a Pinky the Pink design. I think I've seen a lot of people start them, but I rarely see them finished, and they do always look so pretty. And she did such good work on it. So congratulations on that. Go check her out. I love her channel. Catherine's Stitching Chronicles. She was showing some Forbidden Fabric Co. Stash. I guess they were doing sales, a lot of the fabric dyers, on like oopsies or like things that had like small die mistakes. She showed some Ever After. I guess it was like an oopsie, but I love the Ever After fabric that came in with that sale. And that reminds me again that I need to fully finish that. I have it finished, and it's just sitting, waiting for me to actually do something with it. And they're also participating in the 2024 hate sale, so you can watch their progress on that. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. They were showing some Mill Hill finishes that they had for ornaments. So if you want an idea of how to finish something like this, you could go check out their channel. Katie was showing some gorgeous flower whips that she's working on. When I watch her video, like, it kind of reminds me of like cross stitch with Luda. So if you like cross stitch with Luda, you'd really enjoy her Flosstube channel too. So I'll link her in the description too. Addie's Crossing Quilts. They were showing. Oh, they had some Flosstube recommendations on their video too. They recommended the Seazook Stitcher and the Oki Stitcher. And they have some pretty beautiful whips that they work on as well. They work on Fancy Ladies and things like that. So some of those people I hadn't been subscribed to, so I have more people to watch now. But their channel too is really nice. I like watching the stuff that they have to share. So I'd recommend them. Cam the Stitcher was showing their fully finish on the Deadly Aquarium salve they participated in. It looks amazing. I think that's one of the... I don't think I had a mermaid in it, so I think I passed on that. That's just an excuse I have enough to stitch on. But their finish was really, really amazing, so I would recommend go checking that out. The Monogamous Cross Stitcher, happy belated birthday. They just celebrated their 40th birthday here recently, so happy belated birthday, Tan. Feel free to run over and also wish her a happy belated birthday. So she got to celebrate that and got loved on and got plenty of stitchy goodness for her birthday, so that's great. Just So Sherry, another standard person I like to watch. Just nice to chat with her and see what she's been working on. This is a Spanish one, Yo Bordo y Tú. I would recommend them even if you don't speak Spanish. They have the cutest bunny garden stitch that they just finished. It is adorable. I don't know if they linked where they bought it from, but it is so cute. I love bunnies and I love flowers, and I would just go just to see what her finish looks like. It looks so cute. I'll link them below. Caroline's Stitch Corner. She has some beautiful finishes to share. So I would recommend going and seeing that. I think she works on like samplers and stuff like that, so they're not full coverage, but I still think they're really pretty. So if you want to go check out her channel, that would be a good video to watch. City Reese's Pieces, they had a finish parade. We love that. All the parades. So I would definitely go and run over and check that out. I enjoyed watching that. Bohemian Stitchery. Let's see. I am not sure. I wrote something down about this. And I'm not sure what the heck I just wrote in there. But there's something interesting because I made a note of it. So sorry, but go check out. I'll link them below. I'll have to look back and see what that was. Dizzy Stitcher. Love watching Dizzy Stitcher. I think he's in Australia. He works on wonderful full coverage pieces, and I think he recently said he's going to try out doing some, like, there's some people I know who do temperature stitching for their full coverages. I think that's what he's going to do, where he assigns a number. I think Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, does something similar too. She assigns a number to her full coverage, and then the high temperature, I don't know if she does low and high, but she, whichever one it is, she'll pick whichever the last number is, and then whatever whip's assigned to that, that's what she'll stitch on, and that's her temperature stitching. You know, that's not a bad idea. I don't know if I would be open to doing that. Maybe I'd like split it between evens and odds, so I have like two things I'm focusing on. But I might consider because that might be an easy way for me to do something. But I think he's gonna try that out. I think he mentioned that in his last video. And then the last one that I watched before I started recording this was Emily C. I do follow her on Instagram, but I guess I just hadn't caught this. She recently had one of her fur babies pass away. Dharma, if you watch Emily C, you know she has two cats, Dharma and Buster, and Dharma, unfortunately, is no longer with us. She was the prettiest cat, so sweet. I know her and her husband are both feeling her loss, and I listened to other podcasts and stuff, and they were just talking about that. I think that this guy was like, I guess that's what he's known for, is for walking people through grief. And he was talking to people about that like, whenever you lose somebody, or somebody, you know, like our babies, or, you know, people in your life, and it's like so painful, that one of the things that he tells people is to remember that, you know, because like, and he was saying too, like, for people who, if they're like very strong in their faith, like, it can shake them, because they're like, well, why would God allow this to happen? Like, you know, why would they allow them to die? And sometimes, like he said, the proof is in the negative. I can't remember exactly what words that he used, but it's basically like, the fact that it hurts so much just goes to show you how valuable it was to begin with. So, like, the value in living our lives, you know, can be felt in when we're no longer here, or when we, you know, don't have the people that we care about near anymore. Like, the pain reflected is just like the opposite reaction of how much you love them in life. And so it just goes to show you, you know, how much we love our fur babies and the people that we, you know, interact with and hold dearly. And so I know they're going to be hurting for a bit. And it's just, you know, we're never ready to say goodbye. They're fur babies. You know, you care for them. You know, they bring you so much comfort and joy too. And it's very sad. I remember I lost one of our fur, well, I don't know. She was really like my mom's dog, but like I grew up with her. Like I knew her the majority of my life. And she died right before she was going to turn 16 years old. And it was really hard. And yeah, it's just something you're not prepared for. You never want to have to say goodbye. So go over to Emily C's channel, give her some love, give her some encouraging comments, let her know that we're here for her, and hopefully that'll bring her some joy in a difficult time. That's the end of my list, and I'm going to stop here. I did the base. I finished it. This is the base of my snowflake, and then maybe the next video I'll go ahead and start adding the bugle beads, and we'll flesh it out. It's like you do this base layout, then you stitch around it to add the bugle beads and the other seed beads, and then you do the center. So maybe we'll break it up into 3 parts. We'll see how that goes. But if you have any questions, I know it was kind of a little sketchy the way I had the viewing at the beginning, just let me know. Hopefully I mentioned some Flosstubers that you hadn't heard of before and might pique your interest to go check out. And until next time, bye. Happy stitching.